Us now.
India can be called as a land of celebrations and festivities. Welcome everyone to the platform of Bebhaarat. The Indian word for culture is Sanskriti. From the time immemorial, we describe our culture as human culture, which is a universal appeal. The soul of cultural heritage of India lies in the fact that it is an all embracing confluence of religion, traditions, customs, and beliefs. Today, as we find ourselves amidst social and cultural transitions with more exposure to different cultures, we need to take a moment to be grateful for the rich heritage of the Indian culture we have been bestowed with. So, in today's thread, we are going to take the golden artistry that flourished through ages, that is, Thanjavur paintings. We cordially welcome our guest, Valli ma'am, who is a renowned artist of Thanjavur paintings and she has done many paintings till now. I request Valli ma'am to introduce herself and her journey with this art form.
Hi, Priyanka. Hello, everyone. Very
Hello
good
ma'am.
evening to you all. Yeah, very good evening to everybody here. It feels very nice to connect to everyone with the help of this team of bright youngsters from Bebhaarat. Um, okay, so I feel very privileged to be here to share my experiences and my journey with Tanjore painting. So I'm Valli Sevugan. I stay in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I'm from India, Tamil Nadu, Chennai to be more specific. I grew up in Chennai, and later, after I got married, I moved on to Madurai, and from Madurai we came to Malaysia. So, and I do Tanjore painting, and I teach to do Tanjore paintings. It's been almost 3 decades since I started doing this art form. So, yeah, okay. I this is Tanjore painting is a very, very ancient Indian art form. So it is indeed a blessing to be associated with this art form for this long and to be able to um, do it in a place far from its place of origin. So to be, what to say, to make a painting, to do a painting, to teach a painting, an art form outside India itself is a challenge. I'm so happy I've been able to do it this long and pretty, pretty successfully, I would say.
Yeah,
So,
it's a sixth
yeah,
century art form. I mean, so that's really very wonderful journey and during the time also.
true.
And you have been
Yeah,
working on it.
yes.
So, ma'am, what was your journey, how it began, and what are the special features, the uniqueness of this art form?
Okay, so how did my journey begin? I always used to be very interested in drawing. I could draw quite well when I was very young itself. So that interest and passion stayed on. So, like I told you, from Chennai, I moved on to Madurai after wedding, and we were there in Madurai for almost 5 years. And I was always very interested in anything that was art and craft and all that. So it was in Madurai that I started to teach, started taking classes for art and craft, and it was around the same time that I first got introduced to this art form. So when I first saw it itself, it was very, very captivating. I was very interested. And Tanjore painting is not something like which you look at and you feel interested and you are impressed and then you try it on your own. It doesn't work like that. You have to learn it from a proper guru, from a teacher. So we were in Madurai, and I was like wanting to learn this art form. So I kind of tried to locate a person from whom I could learn it. And eventually I found a good teacher. So during my son's school holidays, we went to Chennai and I learned it from my master. So after learning that, I we came back to Madurai. I framed the picture and I hung it in my wall. And everybody, the people were already coming and going into my house for art classes. So everybody who saw that was very interested. I would say even more interested. So they asked me if I could teach them to do one. So I was just one painting old, and that too I had learned it from my master. So that was all the experience that I had. People had faith in me. See, I could always draw quite well, and I have learned that process from a teacher. So it was like putting two and two together, and I started off from there. So I will have to probably thank people who put faith in me and wanted to learn it from me. So that is where I started, and almost close to 3 decades now. I have more than 1,000 paintings to my credit. So it's been a long journey. Yeah. So that was what it is.
Wow. So that's really amazing to hear from you, ma'am. And we can see some pictures are visible. Could you show us some glimpses of Thanjavur painting?
Yeah. Okay. So these are paintings displayed in my, I don't know, how do I turn it? Okay. So these are pictures displayed in my house wall.
Okay,
Yeah.
they
It's
look
like a
really
collage of
beautiful.
pictures. Yeah. So
Right.
I have a picture which I can show you up close, which is not been framed. So you can get a better
Okay.
view.
So the festivities are, I mean, coming alive. Diwali is
Yeah.
just knocking at the door.
Yes. These paintings are
And with,
very vibrant. True.
right, ma'am.
The typical Indian festive and what do I say, positivity is all conveyed through these paintings. Yeah, they always have a very positive aura about them, unbeatable. Okay,
That's
so there's one more
really
thing you asked me, the uniqueness of Tanjore painting.
right.
Okay, so Tanjore
Yeah, ma'am.
painting is like it's a very ancient art form. It's like if you look at its period of origin, it's somewhere in the 16th or 17th century, and it's like survived so many changes across the centuries, and it is still very alive. It's even more popular today, if I can say so. That itself gives a very unique that itself is a very uniqueness about this form of painting. I would proudly say that. Okay, so apart from that, if you look at a Tanjore painting, it is like always vibrant, vivid colors. We always use very bright colors in it, and they always have a, what do I say, a very iconic composition, which means like we don't do abstracts, we don't do sceneries. There's always a center figure, one center figure, if not more. So it's not just these things that make it stand out. It is something else about Tanjore painting. It has a third dimension to it, which is achieved with a bit of clay work. So there is a bit of an elevation from the base on which we are working. And this elevation is used to depict like I said, we do iconic compositions, and most of them were Hindu gods that were originally worked on. So this clay work, the third dimension, is added to the jewelry which the gods are wearing, and the what to say, the detailing in their clothes, the sari border or whatever they are draped with, and probably for an archway or a temple-like background with pillars. So we give an elevated, we give a third dimension with the clay, and that is covered with gold foil. Okay, so it is embellished with stones, semi-precious stones in the olden days and simple glass stones today. And those are embedded within the clay, and the clay part is covered with gold foil. Okay, so gold foil is, to be honest, gold foil is actual gold, real gold, which is melted, processed, melted, poured on paper, processed, and made it suitable to use in the painting. So it has a certain element of real gold in it, which makes it very expensive, number one, and makes it last for centuries. I mean, for decades, because the gold doesn't tarnish at all, it being real gold. So that makes it very unique, very different, and very special also. So that is typically what sets apart the Tanjore painting from the others of its kind. Yeah, from other paintings.
Okay, ma'am. So, as you said that usually a central figure is depicted in those paintings, and religious gods are mentioned, but it also signifies diversity. I mean, India is a country of unity in diversity, and diverse religious, cultural communities are also presented through this art form. So, would you like throw some light on this, ma'am?
Okay, so for an art form to thrive past centuries, it has to evolve. Okay, it can't be rigid. Still, it is very iconic in its composition. Still, it has center figures as the main subject. Okay, we don't, like I told you, we don't do sceneries or we don't do any abstract whatever themes or anything. Most of it is sacred. We predominantly paint Hindu deities. That's how that was how it was during its early days. But even now, if it was an old time painter, all he would do is a typical Hindu deity in the painting. But with changing times, like we change with time, like people change with time, even this painting has undergone um, changes in its subject matter,
A
not
lot
in
of
the process.
evolution.
Not, can you hear me?
Okay, ma'am. Yeah, ma'am. So
Yeah, okay.
in the
So it
current
is.
phase of modernization, how? Yeah.
Yeah, so it has undergone, it welcomes changes. So we work on different themes. Um, it's not just Hinduism anymore. We predominantly Hinduism again, Hindu gods again, but still we have done Mother Mary with baby Jesus. We've done Buddha, the Sikh gurus, and there are paintings with the Islamic theme also. So it reaches more people. Yeah, so it when people relate to it in a different way, it is nice when it has that flexibility in it to accommodate different themes as well. So that way it has withstood changes, I would say.
Okay. So that's how it has been surviving, and people like you, artists
Yes,
like you, are making it. I mean, vivid even in such days, available in such days also.
yes.
Okay. So, ma'am,
Okay, so
I
there's
would
one
like
more
to
thing.
talk.
See,
Yeah, ma'am.
yeah.
Sure.
No, there was one thing you said, unity and diversity, right? So there
Yes,
is
ma'am.
another way I would like to relate to that phrase. I would like to relate to it in a more personal way. See, I stay outside India. I teach to do this traditional Indian art form in Malaysia that is far from its place of origin. So if I were in India and teaching this art form, the student community would probably have more of what do I say, people from that particular region, more of the regional crowd. But then when you are
Thanjavur.
staying outside India,
Right.
when
Yeah,
you're
ma'am.
overseas, you cater to a majorly expat community. Okay, so we do have Malaysian Indians, as in third generation immigrants who are Malaysian Indians, but I'm talking about the expat population. Okay, so the expat population has people from different states of India, and it will be very interesting to note that in any given class at any given time, we have ladies who come from different states of India. Okay, so you name it, and I have
Okay.
it. So I have people who have come from Jammu Kashmir, Rajasthan,
Yeah.
Assam, Kerala,
Great.
Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana, Orissa, Bihar, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana, Himachal, you name it, and I have it. So
That's really
it is real.
awesome. Great.
It's really awesome because people see we speak different languages. We have different what do I say, traditions and practices, different what to say, regional qualities which influence our daily lifestyle. All these things, there's so much variety in the people that I see. But what is really interesting is everybody is connected with that one common thread, which is love for art, love for Indian art, and that too a very ethnic, very ancient art form. We are talking about something which originated in the 16th century, and we have
Right.
people from all over India, what to say, happily pursuing that art and keeping it alive in their own different ways. So that again is unity in diversity, right?
That's absolute. Yeah, ma'am. And it is I mean, the very essence of Bebhaarat, the one single thread that unites us all, that connects us all. So, ma'am, you
True, true.
also made a record in India Book of Records. So, would you
Yes,
like to share that journey with us?
of course, yes. Yeah. So okay, so India Book of Records is what it means. It is It is a division that functions under the Indian government, and they record extraordinary achievements, extraordinary feats in multiple fields. When people push the boundaries a little further and they achieve something which is very unique or very set a high target, then that becomes a record. So India Book of Records records such kind of extraordinary achievements, accomplishments, whatever, and they do it under multiple heads, multiple fields. So I have social media accounts like most of us have. I have one on Facebook and one on Instagram where I share our work regularly, what is in progress and what has been completed, and that kind of updates are there regularly. So on Instagram, I share so many process videos. People watch them with interest, and I keep getting messages, private messages from people from people day in day out. Most of them are people I don't even know. So see, when you see our paintings in person, they are really very attractive, very captivating, and impressive. That much I can tell you for sure. But what I share on social media is just photographs. So some random person who just sees pictures on social media is so attracted to it, and they send me a private message. So I don't know how many people do it, but I religiously go through all the messages and I try to reply to most of them. Okay. So most messages are probably under three categories. Number one is appreciation for the work that we do. They say it's one of a kind, never seen anything like this before, so much of detailing, beautiful, etc., etc. That I graciously accept. And the other one is they ask me if I can custom make a painting for them, if I will take up an order to do a painting for them. So commissioned work, that is another request. And the other one is if I will teach online. So I don't do online classes at all. I'm not able to achieve this kind of finer work. It's too much of a struggle to try to do it online. Many technical things why I don't do online classes. So I keep going through all these messages every day, day in, day out. I go through and I try to reply to most of them. So like that, one day when I was looking at messages, there was somebody, she was also an artist, much younger than me. She had sent me a private message saying I should apply. She had appreciated all the work that I had posted, and she said I should apply to this Indian Book of Records. If they did not give it to me, then nobody else deserves to get it. That's what she had messaged me. And it was not
Wow.
just that text message. She had sent me two audio messages also. She had sent me a link to apply to the Book of Records, and there were two audio messages as to how I go about doing that application process. And I was like, who is this? She doesn't even know me, and she has so much interest. She goes out of the way and she shares so much of information with me, and she pushes me to get further. I was kind of I found it very, very interesting. So anyways,
That's
I told my husband, see, somebody has sent me a message like this, and I told him it seems like a very lengthy process. And I was just discussing it with my husband. He said, why don't you do it? You don't lose anything. Why don't you try? That's what he said. Okay, so yeah, so that's how I applied to the India Book of Records. It was a very lengthy process. See, if I was in India and I made a claim for a record, they would obviously send a person to observe my whatever achieving that feat or something like that, and then they record the entry. But here I am far away from India, and I'm claiming to have made 1,000 over paintings and all that. So they wanted proof. Okay, so they wanted to know that I'm doing the paintings, and they wanted to see the kind of materials that I use, if it is really authentic, and they wanted proof for having claimed that I have made 1,000 paintings. So it was a lengthy process. We had to send in a lot of pictures, videos, etc., etc., etc. And then they wanted an attestation from somebody who represents the Indian government here in Malaysia. Okay, so I went to the Indian High Commissioner's office and I put forward my request, and I had a meeting with the Indian High Commissioner here in Malaysia. So once again, I had to repeat all the details and what I wanted, everything I had to tell him. And yes, he was kind enough to give me a letter of authentication that I am so and so doing this here in Malaysia and all that. So with that, I think IBR was convinced, and then they gave it to me. So in March 2022, my claim was entered as a record in the India Book of Records, and I am a record holder now.
wow. That was such an inspirational journey. I mean, a stranger coming and suggesting is such a great thing, and you did it.
True.
Your
Yeah,
efforts worked it.
yes, true.
So, ma'am, I want to know that as you told that these paintings involve the real gold. I mean, the artistry is so fine that it utilizes actual gold foils and all those processing goes in that. So, what is the economic feasibility for the local artisans in India? I mean, how they can flourish in this field?
Okay, so there is a lot of scope. Okay, so there is a lot of demand. It's not just inside India. It's getting more popular.
Okay.
Everyone in India is
Wow.
gradually getting to know. Yeah, so it is not just confined to the south of India alone. So it's getting more and more popular by the day. And anyone who wants to add that bit of an Indian touch, see, not just in India, even overseas people, expat population is very, or to say, fond of having very ethnic touch in their houses. And so when they when that is in their mind, what they go seeking for is to uh, probably find nice paintings to hang on the walls, or probably some centerpiece and like that. So there is a big demand. There's always a demand for anything that is of good value. Okay, that's the same for art also. So if you can deliver quality, if you can create something which has real good finish and quality, definitely there is a demand. See, I stay in Malaysia. I do these paintings, and like I told you, I share these pictures. So people connect with me, they look at the pictures and they ask me if I can make a painting for them. See, I do it at my own pace. I don't rush because there is somebody who wants a painting. I don't take up orders just because there are people asking for it. I only do it at my own pace. But this is an Indian art form, and believe me, I don't know how it is in the place that you stay, but in the south, there are plenty of options to buy these paintings, to source these paintings. Um, in Tamil Nadu itself, there are so many places. In Chennai itself, there are so many places from where you can buy a nice Thanjavur painting. But there are people who ask me if I can do a painting for them. People from Chennai, people from India, people from Tamil Nadu, they ask me if I can do a painting for them. They
Wow.
tell me that they don't see such kind of detailing or such kind of finish or something like that. So anyway, I'm so proud to hear all that. I'm very happy to hear all that. But for that reason, I don't deliver under pressure. I need to enjoy the journey. I need to really relish what I'm doing. And only when I'm happy, I'll be able to draw a line and say I've done it. Okay. I so that for that reason, I don't take up that many orders, because classes itself is very time taking. And um I have a private, I have a family, I have a private life, so I need time for myself. It is not like 24/7 or anything like that. I do it because I enjoy doing it. So when there is so much demand for something which is good quality, definitely anybody who takes this, if they focus, stay connected, and deliver quality, definitely there is a demand everywhere, not just in India, anywhere in the world. Okay, so it could be anybody in the rural area, an artisan who is not so qualified, who does not have the connectivity. His work will
Hmm.
speak for itself. It will definitely reach places. That much I can tell you for sure. Because I did not target any of this. I did not aim at doing this. Uh, what do I say? I did not plan to do this. I did not want to procure orders and make it commercially successful for myself. That was not, I'm telling you again, I did it. I still do it only because I enjoy doing it. So if somebody were to do this commercially, yes, definitely it's a big scope for it.
Okay, ma'am. So one of the guests also seemed so excited and interested. They even asked if some of the teachings they could know about the teachers who are actually teaching this art form. And I'm sure B Bharat would be able to connect them to such people, as this platform also provides so many instructions. So maybe.
Okay, see, one thing is people ask me if I will do, despite finding loads of painting in Chennai itself, people ask me if I will do it for them, because one, they find something more interesting in what I'm doing, something more special in what I'm doing. So if only I find somebody who delivers similar quality, I'll be able to recommend them, right? So there are so many people who
Hmm.
do this. I personally haven't interacted with many people there. I probably can do a search and come up with names and connect them to you, and you could take them places.
Wow, that would be really great. And the sole purpose of this platform is to make this rich heritage of our country reach to each and everyone who wants to get
Yes.
connected to the roots.
I really
So,
appreciate this
yeah, ma'am.
initiative. Yes.
So, what is your yeah, ma'am, and you have been really, I mean, very, very grounded, and so you readily accepted to come to this platform. We are really grateful to have you.
Oh, most welcome. For me
So,
also,
ma'am,
it's a pride. It's a pride to share all this. Yeah.
ma'am, what would be your message for the youth and the upcoming artisans? What would you like to tell them from this platform of Bebhaarat?
Okay, so anything you take up, not just painting or art, anything that you take up, you have to be very consistent, very focused, dedicated. Art always has a special place in the world. However modern or however highly technical, technological everything gets, there is still a demand for art. There is a place, there is always that desire for art in everybody's house, everybody's mind. It helps you unwind. It's a feel good thing to have something very artistic in your house. So that kind of demand is always there. It is not just mainstream painting or art alone. There are so many fields in which you apply that artistic skill in you and that knowledge in you. So definitely there is a lot of scope. All you need to do is be consistent. You don't target at arriving somewhere. You give it your fullest, your best, and it takes you places. That's how it works.
Okay, ma'am. Lastly, I would like to know your feedback on this platform of Bebhaarat. How do you find this platform helpful, and what suggestions would you like to give us?
Okay, to start with, I was very impressed that bright youngsters like you have taken up this initiative to reach out to one end, the artisans, artists, whatever, and the other end, people who would, what do I say, would like to connect to these people. So you help the heritage flourish, help the heritage live. So I was very impressed with this initiative, and that's why I willingly agreed. So yeah, first of all, you need a bigger presence, and that eventually happens. I can see it already in the right path, and I'm so glad that you've taken it up. It's youngsters who are the torch bearers. Okay, so it is a great effort that you people are putting in, trying to connect people who have, what do I say, who have achieved it to a certain level, as well as I think you should target more on people who need the light to be thrown on them, people with so much of talent, but they don't lack, I mean, they lack that marketing skill or that interpersonal skill kind of thing where they can reach out and sell and get a price for their work. So yeah, it is not easy, but I believe you can do it with more, with youngsters so motivated and so focused. I think it can be, it should be done, it can be done. Yes, I'm very happy that you've taken it up.
Thank you, ma'am. This was such a great opportunity for to have connected with you. And it was really kind of you to share your knowledge, your words of pearls of knowledge with us. We are really grateful to have you, ma'am. I hope many people
Most
watching this
welcome.
would be inspired to follow the golden artistry that flourished through the ages, Thanjavur painting.
Hello,
The golden artistry that
Priyanka.
flourished through the ages. Yes, ma'am.
No, no, suddenly I lost your voice. Yeah, tell me.
Okay, so that is what I was telling. That I hope many people watching us would be inspired to take the next step to get their dreams come alive, make it true with their efforts, and make their mark. The golden artistry that flourished through the ages, Thanjavur paintings. We hope that many people who were yet unknown to this, unaware of this rich heritage culture of our country, would come to know about it, and not just in the Indian subcontinent, but also globally. I think this is reaching and going places now. Thank you so much.
Most welcome. Thank you for having me. It was such a nice conversation with you. I'm so glad that we can do this together. See, I have been doing this for many years now, so I've been surrounded by these kind of paintings. So I believe that people know more about this, but it is actually interesting. It is, I would say, it is what should I say, not true interesting to know that so many people still don't know about this art form. So when you people approached me, not knowing much about this painting, I was like, oh my God, okay, so there are people, uh, I mean, educated youngsters who know more, who want to do more for this heritage of our country. Even people like you have are not too familiar with this art form. So definitely when somebody like you, when a group of youngsters like you take this effort, it definitely is going to reach more people, and that is what is going to help keep this art alive. Okay, so yeah, this is a big step in that direction. I'm once again very happy that I'm part of this with you people. Yes, best of luck. Let's see more on your Insta handle. Yes,
Thank you so much, ma'am. And at last, I would like to say, Be Bharat, Jai Hind.
be Bharat, Jai Hind.